Hello, everybody, and welcome to a live where I'm going to talk about why my client got into Columbia for grad school. So this is something that has been definitely months in the making, but a lot of people have been asking me, Lee, can you do the same for me? How did she get in? So I thought this would be a great place to share and celebrate my client successes, because it's really ultimately, I believe that my life, I do want to have fun in my life. I do think I already have fun in my life, but it's even better, when I can inspire others, work with other successful people to help them go to the next level. And of course, celebrate it when that happens. So, as you guys know or may not know, I run the Successful Immigrant LLC. So I do a lot of things for my clients. I help them get the job. I help them, build up and expand their businesses. And when I was just first starting out, I, help them with their statements to get into colleges, because if you are any sort of an immigrant in the United States, I'm sure you have been programmed by your family to really understand, what, getting into a good school is important. And a lot of these people have very, very ambitious and determined natures. They're ready to go to the next level, but they're missing certain things. Like they're missing their packaging. They're not sure how they can put themselves in the best way, and that's where I come in. I really think that, I help people get better on interviews. I help people get more clients, and also help them get into the school that they want to. Now, the three things that helped my client get into school were these things, okay? So the first reason is that she already had these goals. So this cannot be understated enough, or stated enough, really, because if you have a goal, if you know what it is that you want to, accomplish, and she had, I think we went through 5 schools, and she was able to get into 4. But basically, when you have a goal, you're able to go to the next level. When you have, that idea, at least you know when you succeed and fail. Whereas if you're very vague about things, you're not able to do so, right? So she had a goal and a dream that she wanted to go to Columbia, one of the schools, and she had other schools in mind that were safety and, schools that were match schools. But I really think that what is most important is that you have that goal and you don't let up on that. You just, keep going for that standard. You go for the next level, and nothing really stops you. And of course you have options, but you understand that you actually have goals to go there, okay? And the second thing is packaging. So, hey Chelsea, great to see you here. The second thing was packaging. So if you know me, I am all about turning your perceived weaknesses into a trump card, essentially. So anybody want to guess what I wrote about in her admission statement? Anybody want to take a wild guess what we wrote about? Because I think it's always interesting to see what people value. And had we not had a conversation, we would not even have that story. And I really think that story played a big part. Just sign on Facebook. Is that okay? But it's always good to see you. I don't think I'm getting the context. But yeah, we're on Facebook. For those of you watching replay on YouTube, this is on Facebook. But yeah, anybody want to guess what actually helped her go in? That's not my answer. Okay, yeah. One of these things with lives is like sometimes I can't keep up. But we literally wrote about an experience that was kind of traumatizing. We wrote about an experience where she was applying as an ELL teacher, English as a second language teacher, and she wrote about an experience where somebody put a refrigerator in front of her dorm, or we wrote it, So, it was not really failure on her part, but it was just like, oh my God, first coming to this country and then, going into a college environment where literally your neighbors are blocking your door with a refrigerator. Okay, so I won't share too much, but we came out with a bang. You know, we got into 4 out of 5 schools, and even though that experience was very traumatizing for her, you know, literally her safety was being threatened. And of course, she was okay at the end. But to use those as stepping stones, you know, I really don't believe that there are obstacles in our world. There are only stepping stones. So we wrote literally an essay about how she overcame that, how she taught in different environments, and what her mission was in the world. So I wanted you guys to know that, you know, any experiences that you think is not that great, you can actually turn it into a story that gets you into the school of your dreams, you know. And, you know, I did something similar when I applied to Berkeley. I talked about a time where I was retarded, like pretty much retarded, if not officially what it is, because, you know, in 7th grade we had a fire drill, and, you know, we're supposed to take this slip of paper to the principal, but I took it into the burning building, right? And it was very embarrassing for me at the time, but I just realized that when I focus on something, I just focus, you know, and I have different ways of making it happen. And of course, my grades, you know, helped for sure, but I think when you package yourself, when you rewrite what it is that in your mind, you're able to go to that next step. And I would say that every time I take a risk, I learn something regardless, because if it's a failure, really it's a feedback. You know, you understand, okay, this is not what you should do, this is what you should do, but also have multiple options. You know, I always teach my clients, you know, don't just focus on one company, go to multiple different ones. Don't just focus on just this one person to help you refer, focus on multiple people. But at the same time, don't be afraid to take risks, because I think after that school system that has, you know, passed, we kind of regress a little, because nobody is there to, you know, check on us. Nobody there is there to, you know, keep you accountable. So that's why it's really good. And it leads me to point number 3, which is hiring people who don't know what you know. So I have had, this is a funny thing, from my year from Berkeley, a lot of people went to Columbia, okay? So I just, even by osmosis, I really understood that it was possible. And if there were my peers, now I didn't apply for grad school, but I was able to help my clients achieve something that I wasn't able to do because I was associated with them, right? Sometimes we don't need to have everybody who has done exactly what we did, but some people can make great introductions for you. And this is what I started to realize about money. You know, instead of thinking, oh, the more money that I make, you know, people won't like me for me and all that sort of BS. Actually, the more money that you make, your money can actually introduce you to other people. So for instance, if you join a membership, it's not that you could do it just by yourself, and that's fine. You know, everybody, you know, needs some help. But from that introduction with the money that you spent on that membership, you're able to gain access to different places. You know, you're able to meet other business owners. And I remember one of my mentors, she's a multimillionaire now, and then she spent, I mean, she had like $50,000 saved or something, and she spent like a majority of it to just get into a conference. And had her speech failed, she would have had nothing, right? But she took that risk, and she was able to, you know, sell out the crowd. She made that money back and more, right? And now she gained the skill of being able to do it over and over again. So I really think that even if you can't do it, you can actually meet other people who have done the same. And this is something that, you know, I am incorporating more into my business now, because I realized that, you know, I used to think, oh, I have to just do everything by myself, because otherwise it'd be like, you know, cheating on a test or something. But throughout business, you realize that it's not a competition. It's actually a collaboration. And this is something that I started to realize once I started playing Cash Flow, the game as well. That game is all about making deals with other people, because, you know, it's not about putting, you know, being the first one, because when you can help somebody else, that actually helps both of you guys, you know. And at the end of the game, it's not, do I beat this person? It's, do I get out of the rat race, you know? So a lot of things were inspired by this client, but, you know, she's very happy, over the moon. Her parents are very happy as well. And, you know, she's able to go to that next level. And I just wanted to share with you guys too, because a lot of times it's not even just the techniques or new information, because nothing is really new. But when you put yourself into different scenarios, when you don't even realize this is, possible. I'm in a group where, like, people take helicopters to see their spouses, or like people, do like, diamond earrings and necklaces, and that's freaking awesome because it shows what's possible for you. And instead of maybe thinking, oh, Columbia or Berkeley as this like hard to reach or, really not possible for you, I really want us to all know that yes, it is possible for you. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can head on over to www.workwithlee.com. Depending on your situation, I do help a lot of immigrants in different stages of their life, and I've since embraced it instead of thinking, oh, I have to do one thing, because a lot of people ask me to do a lot of different things, right? So instead of just saying, oh, you can only do this one thing with me, I realized there were a lot of things I do with my clients I never actually even shared. So hopefully you get inspired by this, inspire you to see that it's possible, and I will see you soon.